The title of a video game can sometimes help to get you hooked. Dig Dug, you're going to do some digging. Grand Theft Auto, you're going to steal some cars. Donkey Kong, you're going to be riding a donkey. Okay, bad example, but at least it has a title. The game I'm highlighting in this Friday Plays doesn't have one at all. Well, it sort of has one. Named This Game from US Games never officially got a title, but it does have an interesting story. It's a pretty good game to boot. That's next.
This video brought to you in part by Tommy and the Order of Cosmic Champions. This exciting and heartwarming coming-of-age Gen X novel is available now. Check the link for more info.
Hey there, welcome back to Gen X Grown Up. I'm John, and I am a Gen X Grown Up. Thank you for taking the time to click on this video. Named This Game was initially developed as a Jaws game for Parker Brothers. But when Parker Brothers lost that license, the author of the game shopped it around until US Games picked it up and published it in 1982. Sold with the then temporary title, Named This Game for $10,000, the idea was simple. Release the game with no title, but hold a sweepstakes where the winner would receive $10,000 and the game would be changed to feature the winning entrant's suggested title in subsequent releases and printings of the game. But then, things happened. When the North American video game crash hit the industry in 1983, US Games went bankrupt and closed up shop before the contest concluded, and so no prize, no winner, and no official name for this game. And so it would be easy to dismiss this as a footnote in the Atari 2600 history book, but what some don't realize is this nameless little game is actually among some of the best ever released by US Games and worth playing despite its lack of a catchy title. Let me show you. So, welcome to Name This Game. The name didn't give you a clue what the game was about. I mean, you might have seen on the thumbnail that there's a shark and an octopus involved, but that's the side effect of not having an official title, is that there's not a hook to sell. Like if you played, octopus game, if you played shark game, it's just Name This Game. It was almost set to fail at the beginning because it's hard to talk about. It's that game called Name This Game, blah, blah, blah. It's about a shark. Well, now you've lost somebody. But once you get past the fact that there's no name, as I said, a decent game here. So I've got it fired up. The goal of Name This Game is very simply, like it happens at the end of a treasure hunt. So you have found this treasure. There at the bottom of the screen, you can see a little pile of coins. That's the treasure you have found. But now it's up to you to protect it from an angry shark who wants treasure for some reason, and a giant octopus who also is interested in getting the treasure. But more about that in a second. Let's start by talking about game options. There are 6 game options that you can cycle through with the game select. And it's pretty simple, really. It's just difficulty and number of players. So games 1, 3, and 5 are single-player games. 2, 4, and 6 are two-player games. And the first set of options is average. Game 3 and 4 is they call it easy, so it takes it easy on you. And then game 5 and 6 moves up to the more difficult. So they have average, easy, and then difficult in that order. So the default game options 1 and 2, which is single player, double player, that is that's the base. That's the default when you start the game if you don't select anything else. Also, difficulty switches are mentioned in the manual. However, they're kind of weird and backwards, and I'm not sure if they do anything. So they say difficulty A is normal. Now A is typically the more difficult, the expert mode, and difficult B is harder. And so B is normally the default mode. So are they backwards? And if they are, does it matter? I can't see any difference. So I'm going to do everything on difficulty B, which they call harder, but I can't find it any different in difficulty A. So I'm going to leave it on the default. Now, as you progress in the game, you'll have individual levels that you go through. And as you pass through the levels, they'll get slightly, as you can imagine, what games do, right? The shark gets faster, the tentacles get faster, your oxygen depletes more quickly. And so the goal is to kill you as you're trying to get this high score. Now, interestingly, there are no lives technically in this game. It's how much treasure you have left. So let me start the game so we can at least see what's happening. A charming little tune. Now, what I really like about this game as far as the rules of the game is on each level, though it's begun, nothing starts happening until you start shooting. So at each level, you have a chance to pause. There's no pause function, no color black and white switch or anything. Let's start with a little tour of the screen. So first, let's start with your scuba diver, which, by the way,
Great sprite. His flapping legs, you know, with his flippers on, I think that looks great. The bubbles coming out of his tank, I think that all looks cool. Beneath him is your pile of treasure. Now that pile of treasure represents 3 lives. You can't gain any extra lives or extra treasure. If the octopus gets to the bottom of the screen and grabs you or the treasure, you lose one of those lives and part of your treasure. We're going to call it lives for simplicity. You lose a life. If the shark catches you, he takes you, but also some of your treasure, so you lose a life. Or if you run out of oxygen, again, you lose a life. You know, same thing. So I'm gonna hit start so we can start seeing. And as a tour of the screen, now pointed out your little diver there. It's a kind of a fixed shooter. You're just moving back and forth. You can shoot as much as you want. You can hold down the button for rapid fire. So you see the shark, he's pacing back and forth. You can shoot him anytime you like. The lower he is, the more points you're gonna get. I should point out a giant frickin' octopus in the middle of the screen. Really nicely designed, in my opinion. You know, the tentacled arms. Now, yes, they're segmented in blocks, but it's really kind of neat looking. I think the octopus looks really great. Also at the top of the screen is your buddy in a boat. And like he's in a speedboat and he's going as fast as he can. Every once in a while he'll lower this line to you. And if you can line up with it in time, he's giving you more oxygen. And in fact, overfilling on oxygen is another way to earn points. So I'm all the time trying to keep the tentacles from getting too low, keep the shark from getting too low, and not running out of oxygen. Also on the screen, you'll note just about to run out. It did just run out. The bottom of the screen is this orange meter where your score is. That's your oxygen. Just above that is this little green bar. That is a level timer. So as that proceeds, you'll see it notch down a second. Here, as it went down along with my oxygen, you see. That's how you can tell when a level is over. The game, of course, gets more difficult each level that you go. Keep an eye on that shark. Get some more oxygen. There we go. Let's refill. The scoring is kind of interesting in that I'll put up a little chart for the scoring, right? So you get the deeper the shark is when you kill him, the more points you get. Overfilling your oxygen, shooting the octopus tentacles is another way that you can gain points. So let's look at failure options. So let me show you what happens if the shark gets down here. It's kind of humorous, actually. Here he comes. Oh, he puts you in his mouth and off you go, legs only. And you see it lost some of that treasure, a little less treasure. So the same thing's gonna happen to you without the shark attack. If you're out of oxygen, you'll die, or if the octopus's tentacles again get to the bottom. Those are all ways that you can fail. And I wish this game had a proper name and a proper release, because I think it's better than, it's easy to go, oh, it has no name, it must be, you know, not a good game without knowing the story, and not know it's a pretty decent underwater fixed shooter with well-realized sprites, some good strategy, and good progression. I think it ends up being a pretty cool game in the end. Okay, of course, I'm going to try a points run. I usually get 2 or 3 levels, 5,000 points. The shark gets pretty aggressive. I don't mind showing how poorly I do at this game if it means that more people will discover it. So before I do, I'm going to mention our store over at GenXGrownUp.com/merch, where you can get cool original designs inspired by pop culture and movies and games, and a lot of originals. Like we have this Waka's one that's based on Jaws. This game was originally based on Jaws, but it's a mashup of Pac-Man and Jaws movie poster. Please check us out the next time you're in the market for, you know, a gift for yourself or for someone else. Not only do you get the thing you're shopping for, but it helps us out as well. We certainly do appreciate it. All right, so time for the points run. Let's I hit start and you make sure I'm in game 1. Decent music too. All right, so game number, there we go. Game number 1. Here goes the points run. Wish me luck. All right, and again, game doesn't start until I hit the button, so away we go. Now they say, in the tips in the manual, don't shoot the shark for a while in the early level, you know, to get the high points. But the problem with that is, look how fast he gets when he gets lower. I would rather have more lives and more chances to survive and shoot the shark early than wait till he gets to the bottom and risk a miss, you know? I've also noticed that if you pace your guy with the boat above, when he gets to the edge, you kind of double dip, because he might shoot you some air and then turn around and you're already in the right place to get some more air. That's just kind of a maintenance thing. But yeah, there is points for overflowing the oxygen, but for For me, it's just more of a generally stay under the boat if I can, because more oxygen is always a better thing. There we go. See how I double dipped both on the when he was going east and when he was going west as well. Keep an eye on those tentacles getting down here. There's enough to manage to keep the game interesting. Like, when do I shoot the shark? When do I get air? When do I manage these tentacles? If you had worked at US Games, one level, and it was up to you to name this game and release it, you knew it was based on Jaws and it was octopus, what would you call the game? I talk a little bit about some other releases and some other contests that ran later in this video at the end, but before we get there, think about it. What would you call this? I think there's something to be, aquatic something, or shark treasure, or that's terrible names. Don't do those, but they're possibilities. People have come up with some really creative ones over the years. And again, I'll share that with you in a minute, but before you hear those, think about what you would name this game. It's pretty manageable the first couple of levels. As I said, I usually only get up to about 4,000 or 5,000, because it's once you get to the third or fourth level that the things really pick up the pace pretty dramatically. See how the octopus tentacles move? I just think it's just really nicely realized. The shark is in a single color, but he's well animated. Your sprite, as I mentioned, has both the green color of the main sprite, but also little bubbles that add to it. Propeller on the back of your buddy's boat. All those things, I think, add to it. I think I said in the intro, it's one of the best games that US Games ever put out, which I stand by. But it's also I think with a little more polish, it could rank right up there with some of the better games on the 2600, because, look, you got a full screen monster, you have all this animation going on, there's a lot of progression. Dang you, shark. All right. I'm pushing 3,000 now. I can feel it getting faster. I don't know if you can see that, but I can certainly feel it. Very happy with the fact that you can hold down the fire button for rapid fire. That's quite nice. You can also use the edges as a good place to get the shark, because with the rapid fire, if you start shooting, you might miss him when he's heading one way, but catch him when he's turning around, There he comes. Come on, shark. Oh goodness. Whew, got him. When I start dying, it'll happen fast. Look how fast the shark is already at that high level. He gets to the second level, he's already booking. See that? For many years, I just ignored this game. You would see it in a collection of 2600 ROMs and go, name this game? That can't be anything. And it's too bad. It's too bad. I think it was... Ooh. It was really done a disservice by being part of that contest. Now, they could never have known that, everything was about to go belly up months after they released this, but even so, I might have done that with a lesser game. Or maybe they had so much faith in this game that they figured this was the game they could afford to do something like with, because the game spoke for itself, maybe? Maybe it's a great compliment. Next level, look, the shark is already booking. Look at that. And the air is going faster. Ugh, I gotta focus on the shark more. Yeah, here's exactly where I usually get overwhelmed. Because the tentacles are coming, I'm chasing sharks when I ought to be shooting tentacles, and... Air! Oxygen's going down fast. Oh, that one's getting low. Come on. Oh, I need air. Need air badly. Elf needs air badly. What could have been cool? I always often think of ways, how do you expand on a game like this? Like if you're going to recharge it or something. Like the octopus could be, something you're working on slowly destroying. Like maybe after his tentacles are brought up off the seafloor, you can shoot him, and wear down the octopus or something, like a major boss. I don't know. I mean, not that this game doesn't have enough going on, especially for, an 82 2600 game, but there are always ways you could improve on it, and not that it's bad. It's contrary, I think it's quite good. Look at my score! How did I get up to 7 grand? I guess I'm just shooting so many sharks and so many things. The opportunity for scoring is going up, I expect. Oh, I need that air. Oh, this tentacle's getting pretty low over here. Oh, I missed out on the air. Come on, tentacles. Oh, I made through the level. Whew. No! Oh, I ran out of air. So that was a death. I didn't realize. I ran out of air. So you see I'm down to just a couple of coins there. I think the tentacles are getting after me now. Man, come on! Oh no! Come on! They're getting low. I'm running out of air. A little air. Got the shark. I might hit 10 grand. That's not bad. Maybe the fact that I'm concentrating and talking about it got me in a zen state, Oh no! Oh no! Ooh! That might be it. Nope, there we go. So there's 1 life down, now it's 2. The third will be coming. We might not make the 10 grand. That's my goal. Just want to hit 10 grand. Come on, we can do it. 97, just stay alive. Just focus on that shark. He's the biggest danger. 99, oh yeah, we got this. We got this. 10 grand. There we go. I can die happy. We made it. Oh, I'm out of oxygen. Oh, we're about to die from oxygen deprivation. Come on, drop the line, drop the line. Oh, there it goes. The end. 10,000. Oh, wait. Maybe I got an extra man at 10,000. I didn't see that in the manual, but I think so. Oh, we get one more shot at it? I missed that. That must have been the deal. I'll have to look back in the footage and see if in fact we got an extra man at 10,000. I'll circle that on the screen and you'll go, why did you do that? I'm editing in hindsight and realizing something I missed. Oh, no, shark. 10,550. There we go. So that's Name This Game. It's a good game with a garbage name that makes most people overlook it, and I don't think they should. That's why I wanted to feature it here on Friday Plays. I hope you play it and you enjoy it too.
Now, even without a proper title, Name This Game is a pretty competent and well-designed fixed shooter, and it's really too bad it often goes overlooked. Now, about that name. Carrere Video Distribution later released this game in Europe as Octopus. It's not bad, pretty good. Publisher Amiga also planned to sell the game under the name Galleon's Gold, though that never happened. Another decent title. But in 1994, Digital Press held its own naming contest for the game. The winning title, coined by Russ Perry Jr., was Going Under, which alluded not only to the gameplay being submerged beneath the waves, but to the final days of its publisher, US Games, and the ill-fated sweepstakes that never saw a conclusion. Going Under. I like it. I highlight a different vintage game each week here on Friday Plays. So if you have a game you'd like to see me feature, well, let me know down in the comments. Meanwhile, a couple other episodes you can watch right now are linked here and here. I certainly hope you found something to enjoy in this video. I can't wait to talk to you again next time. Bye-bye.